Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Puffco Peak Dab of the Day. Today is Tuesday. Hello, everybody. How many times have you heard that old story? Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. Remember that? Jaws, or at camp, remember when the counselor would blow the whistle? And everybody would get out of the water. And then they would blow the whistle again. Everybody would get back in. And they would get the all clear from the person in charge of the pool safety or the lake safety or the H-Dock, whatever you had. Boy, those people were great. One was Mr. Al, one was Miss Ann. They were all probably 20 years old, okay? But they were, big adults to us as kids. They controlled the safety. Well, guess what, everybody? Now meaning a long time, we are in charge of our own safety. It's not easy, is it? I don't even like saying it. Because here's the challenge that we all have to do. It's not a questionable challenge. Do you set your sight on safety? Or do you set your sight on pleasure? Do you set your sight on life instead of just setting our sights on breathing? Do you set your sights on running? I want to be a runner. I'm fast. Or do you set your sights on being able to stand? We are in situations that we would never have expected to happen to us years ago, months ago, or even weeks ago for some of us. Is it possible that the solution's been staring us in the face all the time? We've glanced at it somewhat, but we've really never bit into it. And that solution is to lower the expectations of every aspect of our life in order not to be disappointed with everything we do. Because everything we do is a shadow, a shell, a shellacking of what it used to be. See, the real question is the answer in yesterday terms, or is it in an answer of today terms? What I mean by that is if you look at it in terms of yesterday, it's what you lost. Oh my God, I can't do. Oh gee, I don't have anymore. I don't have that muscle, that strength, that capability, that interest. I'm so bad. Mrs. Stoner left her car today. I went to walk sugar. I come home. I go, oh my God, why is Mrs. Stoner's car here? What's wrong? Why is she never home like this? Because she's gone back to work. I forgot she told me she was leaving the car. So, if you dwell on yesterday and what you had and what you wish you could do, no one's going to answer that question for you. How are you? Because it's going to be based on a fictitious term, a fictitious date. Instead, the question should be, how do we keep moving? That's the funny part. We keep coming up with new terms, new analogies, new languages even to get us through these different things. But instead, what if we went back to basics and didn't construct anything, but we deconstructed it to find out what the basic was, and we'd come back and say to ourselves, wow, we didn't have to come up with any name at all or term for what was happening. All we had to do was roll time back, and we saw what was happening. We saw it happen. If you guys and gals look at your history of life, you can find the areas and times where things happen to you. Not hard to find. You look at photo albums, you'll find you're missing. You look at photo albums, you'll find you're sitting. If you look at photo albums, you'll find you're not smiling. Those are the mile markers, if you will, of when things started to change. So instead of deconstructing things and taking things apart, let's build something. Let's take the pile of shit we've been dealt, pardon the language, and let's build something. Remember Close Encounters? He built that hill, that mountain that looked just like the mountain out there. So no matter what it's called, we're in a world of hurt and in a very difficult situation. And basically wake up every day in shit and say, oh my God, here we go again. My feet have to hit the floor. Sometimes it doesn't even hit the floor. Sometimes it's this instead, and it's just ridiculous. So instead of trying to find out how you got there, so to speak, you're there. You're there. We could take it apart 45,000 different ways, but you're there. So you've got to deal with the hand you have in front of you that you have been dealt. You know, sometimes hearing sounds, positive sounds is good, and hearing negative sounds is bad. What I'm saying is, maybe we're wrong to say I'm in a pile of shit. Maybe I'm wrong to say the day is a shitty day. Maybe I should start by saying what a wonderful day it is and see what happens. I think it's crazy if we do nothing. I think it's crazy if we just stumble through with the pain, with the stress, with all the different things that come with it, and it's nonstop. Maybe we look in the mirror, and instead of saying, everything's fine, wow, you look great today, you look in the mirror and you give yourself an affirmation that things suck. It's okay, there's no shame in it. Things suck. Now what are you going to do? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like shifting with the clutch. You got to go back one to go forward two, if that makes any sense. Look in the mirror. Take off your hat. See what's left, the mess. Look yourself square in the eyes and say, yes, this sucks. Once you come up with that admission, then we can move forward and build. But as long as we dance around and everybody's dancing and dancing, high kissing, not going to work. You've got to get down to the raw. You've got to fall through the net a little bit. Have your legs dangling. To feel the wind of the shark bite. That they're jumping out of the water to get your feet, but they can't quite get them. You can feel the wind of their mouth closing. Like that. Well, maybe that's what it takes. Maybe it takes being scared. For me, it does sometimes. Maybe it takes being scared to shock us. Well, I'm shocked. I don't know how much more I can take. And now Mrs. Stoner's back to work. So I live alone 10 hours a day. Very difficult. But you all know that. But the acceptance of your shit is the key. We'll learn to deal with it, but we've got to accept it. Let's take our Puffco peak dab of the day. Sometimes it is good to get back to basics like the Puffco peak. It's funny. Do you remember the movie Jaws? Do you remember what happened afterwards? How people didn't go near the water and things like that? You know, if I was this big name person and I said these horrible things are out there, people wouldn't do them. But I don't have the reach. Okay, I'm just one person talking here. But we have to make sure we take stock of this. If you're in shit, you got to look at it and say, I'm in shit. And then you can help yourself. This is the Real Senior Stoner. Cheers, everybody. Oh, feels so good to get a dab back. Go slow, Senior Stoner. Everyone out there, have a safe day. Cheers.